Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're gonna do like a quick overview, a quick walkthrough of the DraftKings lobby. Talk about some of the best contests to enter on DraftKings for Week 1 of the NFL season. This does apply to the rest of the season. This isn't just like for Week 1, so this goes on to Week 2, Week 3. All these contests will most likely be the same. As we go on later in the season, you might see the prize pools drop down a little bit because as the season goes on, players are probably going to quit playing if they lose like Week 1. But Week 1's when you have like the most money in play in terms of like prize pools. As you can see, $5 million prize pool at the top. The Millionaire Maker, $1 million to first. As we go on during the season, that $5 million total prize pool will probably start to drop. You'll see it go down to $3 million. You'll see it go down to $2 million. Just because you don't have as many players playing like as we get towards the end of the season. Pretty much going to walk you guys through the lobby, talk about the best contests that I think you should be entering, what contests I think you should be playing in order to maintain long-term profitability, whether you should be playing contests like the Millionaire Maker, these contests that DraftKings promotes at the top of their lobby. We will talk about some Yahoo contests as well. For those of you that aren't playing on Yahoo, I'll be sure to go through their site, their contests that they have available, and talk about those, whether you should be playing over there or not. We'll go through the featured contests. We'll talk about some head-to-heads, what you should be doing if you're playing head-to-heads, 50-50s and double-ups if you should be playing those, satellite qualifiers, multipliers. I'll work our way through pretty much every contest type, talk about the best ones to play. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. This is something that just kind of popped in my head. I did want to make since Week 1 is approaching, and I do want to start get out more NFL content as we get closer to Week 1. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop a like if you do, and subscribe if you are new. This is your first time checking out a video on my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. I'll be uploading a ton of NFL content for the rest of the season, breaking down every slate, main slate, showdown, primetime. I'll be sure to cover it all. But let's just go ahead and start off at the top with the Millionaire Maker. Well, first off, I want to show you guys, if you see under each contest, you see I have a margin and overlay. You can get this from the Roto Grinders extension. I know they have it for Google Chrome if you're on Google Chrome on your computer. It's not available on mobile, so if you just use your phone to build lineups, I don't think you'll be able to get this. But if you are on a laptop or a desktop computer, go to your Google Chrome store. If you're on Google Chrome, if you're on Firefox, just go to like the Firefox store and download the Roto Grinders extension for DraftKings. Pretty much what this is going to show you is going to show you the rake, what the rake is in that contest, if there's any overlay, how much overlay there is, and what the percentage is. Also, if you click on the contest, it'll go down, or it'll go even further. It'll show you how much of the field is paid out, what the min cash is, how much of the money goes to first place, how much of the money is going to the top 10. This is a very helpful tool if you're on computer, desktop, whatever. So if you do not have this, make sure you get that Roto Grinders tool. Highly suggest you get it. I've had this tool pretty much ever since I found out that it was a thing. I wanted to get it. So make sure you guys check that out in your store for whatever browser you're on. But at the top you can see the Millionaire Maker is like the #1 promoted contest that DraftKings offers. It's obviously going to be something that's very user-friendly and that attracts users because, as you can see, first place wins $1 million. This is going to be a contest that you see a lot of people play. As you can see here, you already see a lot of like new users that don't have any badges already have like lineups entered. A lot of people in this contest are playing one lineup, are not experienced players, as you can see, since you do see that you have players without badges playing in this. And this is one of the biggest things I think you should not be doing is playing the Millionaire Maker. Even if you max enter the Millionaire Maker, if you play 150 lineups, your chances of maintaining profitability long term in this contest are very slim, just with how the payout structure is. First place wins $1 million, then second place it drops down all the way to $200K, then to $100K. If you place if you max enter the Millionaire Maker, I'll do that real quickly. 150 costs $20 to enter. If you put 150 lineups in there, that is $3,000. So even if you place like top 50 in the Millionaire Maker, you're barely getting your money back. But just with how top heavy this contest is to first place, it's usually not a contest that I play The goal of this contest is obviously to win $1 million and to place first place. But if you're playing this contest all season, trying to maintain profitability, trying to win money long term, this isn't the contest to do so. If you're someone who just plays like $20 and you just want to throw $20 out there, and you understand that you're most likely going to lose towards the end of the season, you're most likely going to be a losing player, I guess that's fine if you're just trying to win $1 million. But if you're someone that wants to maintain profitability long term, if you want to have more money in your account than you started with at the end of the season, then probably suggest you stay away from the Millionaire Maker. Right now, DraftKings is running some guaranteed overlay contests, and I think these are some of the contests you should probably be starting off with. Right now, they have 2 available. They did have like 4 or 5 available, but they've already filled. Right now, the 2 available contests with guaranteed overlay, they have a $100 single entry. Pretty much what guaranteed overlay is pretty much DraftKings is adding money to the prize pool. As you can see, this contest has 2,500 max entries, and it's a $100 entry fee. So I'll pull up the calculator real quick just to show you guys. To be more specific, if we do 2,500, which is the max amount of entries, times the entry fee, which is $100, that's $250,000 in total prizes. And if you can see here, the prize pool is going to be $275,000. The prize pool is more than what DraftKings is actually taking in. So pretty much DraftKings is just adding money to the prize pool, which makes it a lot more user-friendly, makes it easier to win, I guess you could say. Same thing could be said for this 10-cent contest, which you can enter up to 20 times. That's $2. So if you're someone that has the time to build out 20 lineups, or if you know how to use an optimizer, you know how to use a lineup builder, highly suggest you put 20 lineups into this if you can. The payout structure for this contest is very user-friendly. $1,000 to first place, which is only 4% of the money going to first place. Obviously, if you take first in this, you're not going to be winning a ton of money, but if you place like top 10, you're still getting a good return on your investment. Even if you max enter, that's only $2 to put 20 lineups into this. It's a very even payout structure. Not too much money goes to the top. So these are 2 contests. If you can afford to get in them, most people should be able to afford to get into this 10-cent bargain bin. If you can afford to get into the $100 single entry, feel free to play it. But I think this 22K micro bin with guaranteed overlay, DraftKings is taking in 20K from this contest, and they're paying out 22K. So they're pretty much taking $2,000 out of their pocket and adding it to the prize pool. So definitely think you guys should be starting with those contests. Anytime you can get contests with guaranteed overlay, with overlay in general, with no rake, those are the contests you should be starting off with first. Going over to Yahoo, they are running a $1 million contest with no rake. This is one of the contests, if you can afford to get into it, this is one that I think you should be starting off with. If you're not playing on Yahoo for week 1 of the NFL season, you're pretty much doing it wrong, because Yahoo's going to have a ton of overlay on their site. They're going to have some of the best contests out there. All their contests are 10 entry max. Even their biggest contest, even this one, the $1 Million Baller, you can only enter up to 10 times. Whereas on DraftKings and FanDuel and other sites, you can enter up to 150 times. So this contest and just Yahoo in general is much more user-friendly. Anytime you're going up against less lineups, that's going to allow you to be able to be profitable long-term. Anytime it's just more user-friendly, it's a fair game for everyone. Even if you only play one lineup in the $1 Million Baller, which is $25, even if you only play one lineup, you're only going to be going up against people that have 10 lineups, where if you play in the Millionaire Maker and you only play one lineup in that, you're going to be going up against a ton of people, and you're also going to be going up against players that have 150 lineups. So it's a little bit unfair. The prize pool's a lot bigger for the Millionaire Maker, but the prize pool for Yahoo is a lot better payout structure, I guess you could say. The payout structure for this tournament's a lot better. Even though it's not as top-heavy, you don't have $1 million to first place. You still get $100K to first place, which is a lot of money. $50K to second, $25K to third, $15K to fourth. The prize or the payout structure is very even. Not too much money goes to the top. Even if you place like top 50, you're still winning a lot of money for that investment that you put in. Like if you max enter this contest, if you put 10 lineups in here, which I'm for sure going to be doing, that's $250. If you just place one of your lineups in the top 200, you're automatically going to be profitable in this tournament, which placing 200th out of 40,000, if this contest fills, it does sound like a lot, but when you have 10 entries, it's not that hard, to be honest with you. As you can see down here towards the bottom, I've already put 10 lineups into this 6K no management fee tournament. This is 2 of their tournaments they're having. the $1 Million Baller and this tournament are the two tournaments they have that have no rake. So those should be the first two tournaments you start off with on Yahoo. As we get closer to week 1, I will put my 10 lineups into this contest. But since we've got so much time, we've got 3 more weeks till the season starts, don't really need to get my entries in right now because we have plenty of open spots available. But even once you get past the $1 Million Baller, you also have a 100K tournament with 20K to first. This payout structure is not as great because you do have a lot of money going to first place, 20% to first place, which is usually more than I like. The drop-off is pretty high, going from 20,000 to first down to 5,000 to second. This contest not as good, but it's probably going to have some overlay. I would be very surprised if it fills come week 1. And anytime you can get overlay, that's always profitable for you. It's always going to be better for you. Something I highly suggest as we get towards week 1 and on Sunday, as we get closer to kickoff, go through the lobby, see if there's any contests that have some overlay. Maybe throw a couple entries in there if you can afford to. I'm pretty sure last year Yahoo had a ton of their contests, had a lot of overlay. I know their $1 Million Baller last year didn't fill. I doubt this one's going to fill, so might be smart to get into this contest if you can. If you're someone that plays $200 or more and you want to put 10 lineups in this, I highly suggest you do so. There's no like CSV editing either, so you're not going to have people putting their lineups in with a lineup builder. To build lineups on Yahoo, you have to build them by hand, which is going to be user-friendly as well. So I highly suggest you get over some of these tournaments on Yahoo. But going back to DraftKings is talking about some of the other big GPPs that they're offering. You have like a contest like the Power Sweep, which I think is very good if you're someone that plays anywhere from $400 to $500. This is a 3-entry max. You can only put in 3 lineups. You're going to be going up against a lot of pro players, but the pro players are only going to have 3 lineups in here. So this is very favorable if you're someone that plays, like I said, if you can afford to play $450, putting 3 lineups into the Power Sweep I think does make some sense if you have the time to build out 3 lineups. The payout structure for this, not great. 20% to first place is usually higher than I would like. I usually try and play contests that have about 10% to first place because that's usually, I think, the best way to go. But still, the drop-off isn't that crazy, going from 100K to 40K. That's still a lot of money, pays out 22%. So the Power Sweep's a good contest to play. They also have a lot of other 3-entry max contests. If you just search up 3-entry max in the search bar, it'll show you all the 3-entry max contests that they're offering. They have the higher stakes ones like the $150 entry fee, the $777 entry fee, the $400 entry fee. But then when you get down to contests like the nickel, $5 to enter 3-entry max. If you want to put 3 lineups into the nickel, which is the most you can put, it's only going to cost you $15. That's a really good contest to start off with. Even if you want to go cheaper than that, if you don't want to play $15, they have the triple option, which is also a 3-entry max, and it only costs $3 to enter, so that'd be $9 to max enter that. I think they have a $1 as well. I just can't seem to find it. I thought they had like a $1 3-entry max, but the nickel, 150K nickel, that's a really good contest to play. It's low stakes, really good prizes. 150K in total prizes is a lot for a $5 contest. 20K to first. The payout structure is very even. So for low stakes players, this is a good way to start off with. They also have the 100K Engage 8, which is another 3-entry max. If you're someone that usually plays 3 lineups for NFL, highly suggest you start off with a lot of the 3-entry max contests. Anytime you're playing like 2-3 lineups, you want to make sure that you're going to be going up against people that also only have about 2 or 3 lineups. You don't want to play 2 or 3 lineups in a contest with 150 max entries because your chances of thinking one of those or 2 of those 3 lineups is going to be a lot lower than in a tournament where everyone's limited to the same amount of lineups as you. Then they also have single entry, which is great for people who only play about 1 lineup. These are all these contests you can only enter up to 1 time. So even the pro players are only going to have 1 lineup, like Papa Gage, Chipotle. Those really good players that you're going to be going up against, they only have 1 lineup as well. So they have like the 15K daily dollar, single entry, $1 to enter. That's a great tournament for low stakes players. They have like just even more if you keep scrolling. They have like some really low stakes contests that you can play. They have double ups, which are something you could do. I usually don't play double ups, and I usually don't play cash games for NFL, and pretty much for every DFS sport. I usually just play tournaments. But if you are going to play cash, I think NFL is probably the best sport to play cash games because you have the most most new players coming to NFL. because it's such a popular sport. It draws a lot of attention. You're going to have a lot of fish playing NFL. So if you want to post head-to-heads, if you want to get into some of these double-ups, NFL is probably the best sport to do so. You can look at the payout structure for these double-ups. It's 5,747 entries, and as long as you place in the top 25 or 2,500, you're going to double your money. So those are a lot friendly for those people who are maybe trying to grind out a profit. If you're someone that's trying to like bink, if you're trying to win a lot of money, then you probably want to go for these tournaments, like the big tournaments with the big prize pools. Even though these low stakes tournaments don't have $1 million to first place, you're still winning a lot of money off your investment. Like if you take down this $3 single entry, you pretty much invested $3 into this contest with a chance to win $10,000. You have to beat out a lot of people. You have to beat out 39,000 people, but still your chances of winning this are going to be a lot higher than any other tournament because it's your one lineup versus everyone else's one lineup. So single entry, 3 maxer, I think are great ways to start. If you're someone that uses a lineup builder, you know how to use a lineup builder, or you just have the time to build out lineups, DraftKings does offer 20 entry max contests. They have these two that they start off with. You have the $4 20 max, 10K total prizes. Then you have the $1 20 max, 250K in total prizes. These are definitely contests you could get into if you're someone that plays about 15 to 20 lineups, anywhere in that range. The more lineups you play, the more it's going to allow you to get into tournaments, I feel like. Because if you're someone that just plays one lineup, I'd highly suggest you just put that one lineup into like single entry stuff. But if you play like 10, 20 lineups, then you can probably throw those 10 to 20 lineups into like 20 max contests. They have those two. I know they have some other ones though. They're just not showing up. Some of them don't have 20 entry max into the title, so that's why they're not showing up. But if you just go over to this M, if you just highlight over the M, it's going to show you how much or how many entries the contest allows. So this $50 5K to first 30K chop block allows 20 entries. This goal line contest, it has it in the title, 3 entry max. This massive double up allows 150 entries. Something I highly suggest though, for those of you that play double ups, definitely stick to single entry double ups. You don't want to be playing against people that are going to be running 150 lineups in a double up, that are going to be running a 150 lineup train. So DraftKings offers a ton of single entry double ups you can get into. I'd highly suggest you do those over the 150 max ones. But now getting down to like other stuff, you have like micro boosters, you have booster contests, which I usually don't play. That's something I just really never play. I usually just stick to the tournaments. The play action's a great tournament for someone playing about 20 lineups. It's $3 to enter. You can enter up to 20 times. So if you max enter that, it's $60. That's a great tournament to play if you're someone that plays about $50 to $60. Plus, it's a really good payout structure. It's a lot of money at the top. $2 million in total prizes with 200K to first. The drop-off is pretty good, just going down from 200 to 100K, 50, 30, 20K. Not like there's too much money at the top. Pretty even payout structure. Highly suggest you guys get into that contest if you can afford to. That's one of the better contests that you can play, where it's pretty even all around. Not too many lineups, or not too many entries for one player. Even if you're only playing like 2 or 3 lineups, it's better that you play in the play action, where your opponent's only going to have 20 lineups max, whereas in any other 150 max contest, your opponent's going to have up to 150 lineups. So the play action is a really good one to talk about. Obviously, you have these 3 entry max contests that we've talked about. Pretty much just finding contests that work for you, that work for how you want to play, and work for like the amount of money that you want to play for. I think it's very key, whether that's doing like low stakes 3 entry max, whether you want to play about 3 lineups every Sunday and you want to play them in low stakes stuff, or if you're someone that wants to just play one lineup and you want to play it in all the single entry stuff, you could do that. If you're someone that has the time to play 20 lineups, if you have the time to build out 20 lineups, or even you know how to use a lineup builder, then going in and looking at these 20 entry max contests like the front 4, the first down, the quarter jukebox, the micro bargain bin, those are contests that make a lot of sense. If you can build out 150 lineups, but you don't want to enter them in like the massive tournaments, you don't have the money to put 150 lineups into the like Millionaire Maker, the Mini Max is a great contest to play. This is something I play every day for MLB. You can enter up to 150 times. It costs 50 cents to enter, so if you put 150 in times 50 cents, that's $75. That's a great contest to max enter if you can play 150 lineups. But I think we pretty much covered all the tournaments. Now talking about cash games, head-to-heads, how you should be playing these. I think something that's very important when playing head-to-heads, I always recommend that you post head-to-heads rather than scoop. And pretty much what that means is you put out your games rather than taking other people's. Only reason I think the only reason you should be taking other people's if you can find the right content or the right people to take. So if you just look at the $1 head-to-heads that are available, as you can see, a lot of players here have badges. Anytime you can find a player that doesn't have a badge, those are always the players that you should be taking first. You can go through each price range, whether you want to play $2, $1, whatever. You can definitely do that. If you go over to the created contest, if you want to post your own head-to-heads, something I highly recommend will show you when it loads. You can set it to where only one person can take your head-to-heads for each price range. So if you post like 20 $1 head-to-heads, you're not just going to have one player take all your head-to-heads. You can set it to where only one person gets each one. So if we go to NFL, if we go to Classic, the main slate for Sunday, put your contest type as public, go to head-to-head. You can set it to where, or you can set it to however many you want to post. So if you want to play like $20 in head-to-heads, maybe you play like five $1 ones. You play like five $2 ones, and then maybe you post, that's $15. Maybe you post like two or three $3 head-to-heads. So then you can do that. It'll post all those in the lobby, but you can also set the number of times one person can play against you. Something I highly suggest is that you play against one opponent. So that way you're getting a different opponent for every head-to-head, because if somebody takes all your head-to-heads and they have a better lineup than you, then you're pretty much going to get swept in head-to-heads. You're going to lose all those. Whereas if you're playing against a different person in every head-to-head, there's a chance that even if you have a bad lineup, at least somebody that you're going up against, those however many people you played against, those 12, 13 different people that you played against, there's a chance that their lineup's even worse than you since you're going up against such a different amount of people. So that's something I highly recommend you do when posting head-to-heads. Always set the number to 1 and post it low stakes if you can. If you're someone that plays like $20 in head-to-heads, don't just play one $20 head-to-head. Play a couple of $1 ones, play a couple of $2 ones, a couple of $3 ones. You want to get as much action as possible in each stake. You don't want to play just all your money on one head-to-head. You don't want all your money going to like one price range. Try and get as much low stakes action as possible. So that's usually what I like to do for head-to-heads. If you're not getting enough action posting, then you can take people's head-to-heads. But like I said, if you're taking people's head-to-heads, just make sure you're finding the right player. Don't take head-to-heads against pro players, guys you see in the lobby a lot. For NFL, you're going to have a lot of casual players, so it should be pretty easy to find players that don't know what they're doing. Plus, you can see how many times a player's posted a head-to-head. Usually, if players have a lot of head-to-heads posted, that probably means that they know what they're doing if they're playing for a lot of money. So if you can find a player that maybe just has one head-to-head posted, that's usually probably going to be better than playing against someone that has 100 posted. Because probably the player with 100 head-to-heads posted is a good player and they know what they're doing since they're putting a lot of money out there. So that's how I usually approach head-to-heads, but like I said, head-to-heads just aren't my thing. I usually just stick to tournaments for DFS. I haven't been playing much cash games. Kind of quit playing cash like a couple years ago and just have strictly been focusing on GPPs, which has been working out for me. But another thing you can do is 50-50s, double-ups. These are pretty self-explanatory. You just, as long as you land in like the top 40-50%, you're going to double up your money. These are great for trying to grind out a profit, but if you want to win like big money, you're not really going to do that playing double ups. Double ups, though, self-explanatory, don't need to talk about them much. Same with multipliers, kind of similar to double ups, but they can be more or less like easier to win. Like these, you'll have like 10x boosters, so it's 35 people can enter this. You first through third win $20. It costs $2 to enter, so you're multiplying your entry fee by 10 if you win this. But as you can see, 33% of the money goes to first place, so all the money is going to the top 3 places, and also the contest only pays out 8%, so your chances of winning this are very slim. You got to have a really good lineup to win that, but if you do, you're multiplying your entry fee by 10, so you are winning a good amount of money for what you put in the contest. But I usually stay away from multipliers, and then satellites and qualifiers. These are contests you can shoot for. These pretty much, rather than just playing for money, you're playing for tickets. So like this contest, it's first and second win a ticket to the Millionaire Maker. Costs a quarter to enter. You can enter up to 5 times. So if you put 5 lineups in this, that's like $1.25. You have to place in the top 2 spots to actually win any money. So that's going to be very hard to do. But if you're someone that's trying to get some Millionaire Maker tickets and you don't want to actually like put in too much money into the Millionaire Maker, if you want to try and win some tickets rather than investing $25 or $20, maybe shoot for a couple of qualifiers rather than just entering the contest. Might be able to get you into the contest for a little bit cheaper than you would pay for. But I think we pretty much covered all that. I think we've just about covered all the contests I think you should be playing. I guess to recap, I think the best contest to play, just depending on how many lineups you're playing, you should probably be starting off with single entry. If you're someone that plays just one lineup a day or one lineup on Sunday, you should probably just be sticking that one lineup in single entry stuff. If you're someone that plays 3 lineups or less, the 3 entry max contests are great to do for 3 lineups or less. If you have the time to build out 10, 20 lineups, then throw in those lineups into some 20 max contests. DraftKings has a ton of them. Those are great contests to do. Also, don't want to forget about Yahoo. They're running great contests as well. All their contests are 10 entry max. Even their biggest one is a 10 entry max. So you're going to have pro players playing in this. You're going to have guys like Osimo, Papa Gates playing in this, but they can only enter up to 10 times, just like everyone else. It's not like they have 150 entries and you only have 2 entries. Everyone gets 10 entries, no matter like who you are. So the $1 Million Baller over on Yahoo, great tournament to play. If you can play $250, if you can afford to play that on Sunday, you should definitely be throwing 10 lineups in there. Always recommend you put in different lineups as well. You never want to run the same lineup into a contest. Anytime you can put like multiple entries in, you always want to put in different lineups. Never want to play the same lineup in one contest. You never want to run like a train. That's just not what you want to do, especially for a tournament. In double ups, I guess it does make sense to run a train, but for tournaments, you always want to put in different lineups for each contest. That's just going to help your chances of winning first place if you have just different shots at it, rather than just putting all your eggs in one basket. But I think we pretty much covered all the contests to play, guys. Hopefully this video did help you. I've been wanting to make this video. I think it's something a lot of people should be watching. It's very important in terms of maintaining profitability throughout the rest of the season. You never want to like deposit $100 and then lose all that money in the first week. You want to be smart with your bankroll, know which contest to enter, know which contest you should be playing. Whether you're a high stakes, low stakes, mid stakes player, I think I did a pretty good job of covering the best contest to play. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Let me know some of your favorite contests to play. If you have any recommendations, feel free to do so. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section. But hope you guys enjoyed. Appreciate you watching the video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.